Africa Radio. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sam. I'm Chigozie Isaac Olariwaju, and I'm so sure you'll be expecting the likes of Barrister Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party, Dr. Uche Samson Oga of Progressive Congress, and we have Dr. Alex Otti of All Progressive Grand Alliance, and Dr. Okezie Victor Ikpeazu from People's Democratic Party, Honorable Blessing Nwagba of the Social Democratic Party.
Well, wonderful. I mean, it looks at the point that this was not going to happen, but then here we are today, and sure. It's happening. It's happening, and we are so happy that this day has come. What do you have to say about the turnout already? Some of the governorship candidates who were contacted, they have already signaled us positively that they will be part of this process. I'm sure
people are already here, and I'm so excited because it's something that we all have been expecting. And with the turnout here, I mean, it's going to turn out great too. It will be amazing.
So what are we expecting?
Is it just me? Abians, everyone listening, we are expecting that they will roll out all that they have for the people today, and from whatever they will say, we will know who we will choose. Although they do say that the debate is not the time to choose who and who, but then you will know who the candidate is and what the candidate can offer.
Well, most of the candidates are very familiar. You're talking about the governor, Okezie Ikpeazu of the PDP. He's been here. He's the governor already. You really don't need so much introduction again. A familiar name. And then on this particular platform, he will be on the defensive. Probably he'll be talking about the things he has done.
He will be on the defensive, okay, exactly. About what he has done. And then people will also be expecting to hear more from him. If you say you are there and you've done well, they would need to know what more would you do. So what is he coming up with now that makes it different?
Then you're talking about Dr. Alex Otti of All Progressives Grand Alliance. He was there in 2015 as a candidate, a keenly contested election that finished up, a photo finish it was, even at the trenches. But here he's back again, throwing his heart into the ring. He is ready to slug it out.
Like he once said, it was his mandate that the mandate was stolen, and so this time around he is going to get it back.
Well, the court ruled that Governor Okezie Ikpeazu was the winner, and then it's left for the court to determine. But then he is back into the fray, and he's going to definitely make a good take this opportunity to tell the world the different thing that he is bringing on board, and why Abians should vote for him this time around.
Yeah, earlier, you know, the last time he said they voted for me, though you mentioned the issue of court, but they said they voted for me, and this time they will vote again. And you pray that there would not be issue of any court case and stuff like that. But then we'll talk about Dr. Uche Samson Oga. He was there in 2015, though did not get up to the stage of Dr. Alex Otti, but he felt he was treated, and this time he is back to it.
Yes, we're talking about Dr. Uche Samson Oga of All Progressive Congress, an accomplished entrepreneur, a man who has done very well in the business circle. And then probably he will be hoping to bring his private sector experience to bear on the job if given the task here. But then he is coming from the All Progressives Congress, a federal might, you might say, but are they really on ground? Talking about APC in Abia State, that's another question, Olariwaju.
I think that has been settled because last time they said they don't have any internal squabbles, okay? That was it. That there was no internal squabbles, and then the issue of MNK or so will not come into play again.
Okay.
So that is it.
Yes,
it means that everything has been settled. There's no really. Internal squabble.
Not really. Maybe later we'll look at the recent issue.
Yeah.
Maybe later we'll look at the baggages. Who is going into this battle without crisis? In APGA, there is a certain Chikwe agency.
But for now, the issue is Dr. Uche Oga with INEC.
According to INEC.
According to INEC. So that's the only name for now.
Yes. But these are internal wranglings that the party, they still need to sort out and go into the battle as one big family. I think they will.
Well, I think as we speak, it's already in court.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it's in court, and let's see what the outcome will be before the time for election.
There's something to cheer for. I mean, something for the women. I'm sure you must be happy about this.
Great. Yeah. Honorable Blessing Nwagba. It's also the race. So we are looking at, women, I don't think we've had such opportunity or such chance before. I think there's a kind of courage, a kind of boldness, something that she feels she can do. And some are asking, where is the capacity from? Where is the God from? What does she think she's doing? And all that. But we will have her here today, and she will tell us why she is in the race.
Well, honestly, I salute her courage.
Yeah.
I watched her in on various platforms, especially that of yesterday. You needed to feel her boldness. She was so confident in whatever thing she is planning to do for the people of Abia State, if given the chance. But you're looking at where she's coming from.
And she's coming
legislator, and then you're looking at her platform, Social Democratic Party.
Social Democratic Party. And in Abia State, right? We know so much about APC, PDP, and APGA. So we will see how she will carry up the flag of Social Democratic Party and how far she will go with it.
Exactly. Fresh from the blocks. I mean, she is coming with new vibes, new ideas, and hopefully that the women will be given an opportunity this time around. That will be definitely very, very refreshing. But then, Blessing Nwagba, Social Democratic Party, at the point in time, the Social Democratic Party, they're having internal wranglings. They don't have a presidential candidate. Well, in Abia State, is SDP so much on ground?
Yes, that's exactly what I said earlier. In Abia State, we say the bubbling party, like they will tell you, has been PDP, APC, and APGA.
And then another person here is Barrister Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party.
Well, but we'll all hear from him here.
We will definitely hear from him. He's a lawyer, and then he will be bringing his A game to this one. He's already seated here, waiting to slug it out with other candidates. Let's just a bit look at some of the issues that the candidates will be tackling today. We would want to know why they are qualified for the job, the economy of Abia State, and then so many issues, workers' welfare. So
and that of security too.
And security. Which of these tops the list for you?
Well, for me, I think it's to say it's about the issue of poverty and how they are going to tackle that in the state. Even as we talk about Nigeria today as the poverty capital of the world, you can imagine that. And so that day in the state, Abia State, we would not want to know how they will be able to eradicate this, in the state. So that is what I'm looking out for. And there's another thing that I'm looking out for in this station, and that's the issue. It's this issue of economy.
The economy.
Exactly.
Yes, at the moment, Abia and Abia in particular is dubbed the SME capital of Nigeria, and the present administration, in all honesty, in all fairness, has done very well to put Abia, the commercial city of Abia, in the limelight, at the place where it is supposed to be.
I think the opposition party should hear you say that, because to them there is nothing on ground and nothing is happening.
Okay, but this is why they are coming here, to tell us what they have in stock, how they can better the marks of the man who is on the saddle already. Talking about the economy of Abia State. We're looking at agriculture again.
Exactly.
What do they have for the agrarian population of Abia State? How do they plan to better the lots of the rural populace?
Yes, and in each government they will tell you that the one that tops the list in the agenda is agriculture, education, and health, you know, before every other thing. So let's see what they will have for us in this regard.
Then on the front burner again is security. It's a well-known knowledge that Abia State is bounded by well over 4 states. Security balance, they will tell you it's a gateway for investment and a gateway for criminals.
For criminals too, so, and that's it. But we also need to know how they are going to do this.
We need to know how they are going to tackle this and create an investment opportunity therein. But overall, we're expecting a robust and a very engaging discussion from the candidates here. So far, they've been committed to a set of rules, and that we hope that they would abide through and then go on and give us a nice discussion.
They are responsible, and then I want to believe that they will act likewise.
Well, this is the Abia State gubernatorial election debate right here at the Abia Hotels,
Umuahia, Abia State.
Any moment from now, we will be getting into the fray and then taking on the candidates. Right here seated, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam, and then Right Honorable Blessing Nwagba of the Social Democratic Party. We are the early callers. We're expecting others.
Exactly, and we appreciate that. Hopefully, the governor, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, and Dr. Alice Otti will be in building. We just learned that they are on their way.
Okay, joining me on the commentary stand is my colleague Ginika Oluoha of Flow 94.9 FM. Ginika, good to have you here.
Yeah, good to have you too, Mike Sampson. I can also cite one of our own, Michael Oni, already seated. Yes, I think he's going to do a great job today for us.
Alongside Ugochukwu Madumere, these young chaps, they've done extremely well. You know, at the point it looked like the debate was not going to pull through. But they did very well. They handled all the candidates from the National Assembly level down to this point, and it is only fair that we allow them continue. I mean, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. You know, yesterday, if you remember, similar thing happened at the Mater Dei Cathedral, where the Catholic Church also organized a similar event where the governorship candidates had the opportunity of interacting with Abians on what they intend to do for the people in the next 4 years. I think it's a good thing. It shows that the people are beginning to get conscious of the political happenings within their environment. And it's beginning to show also that it's reawakening the political consciousness of the people towards election. And by this, I can tell you something, that the political consciousness of the people is also high, and they are going to vote this time, irrespective of who is in power or who is not in power. And I must tell you that there won't be any need for apathy this time, because by this platform, people will get to know what the candidate, the governorship candidate, have for the people in the next 4 years, Samson.
Yes, don't forget that this debate is live on our partnering radio station, on all the partnering media houses rather. You have Boss 89.7 FM in Abia and Vision Africa Radio right here in Umuahia. Well represented. Your contribution to this project has been awesome. Flo-Fm is still very much here, and we are streaming it live on our YouTube channel and on various social media platforms. And joining us on the commentary stand now is a colleague, Chigwe Ugele. She writes for an online medium, CSU. Good to have you here, Chigwe.
Thank you very much for having me.
We are looking at the debate culture of Nigeria and going into the election. How much of the decisions that the electorate would make do you think would come from the discussions, the engagement, and the ability of the candidates to marshal out their points here?
Well, a lot of it. A lot of decisions are going to be made after listening to the candidates, you know, churn out their policies policies and plans. So we expect to see the electorate actually, you know, tuning those that are not here. They should follow, so that it will also provide an ample opportunity for them to make their decisions for those that are still undecided. So it's going to really affect people. It's going to you know, shape their opinion henceforth.
All right, Chinwe, looking at the turnout already, what do you think?
Well, I think people are eager. It shows that, you know, Abia is growing. People are interested. They really want to make an impact. They want to be part of the process of choosing who their leader is going to become.
Thank you very much, Chinwe.
My pleasure.
This is a friendly debate. This is a friendly debate. We're all Abians. It's a friendly debate. As I always say in my program, hate speech is a crime against humanity. And we must avoid politics of bitterness and enthrone love. This is what we are here for. And it's a moment to enthrone love, so that at the end of it, we can hug each other and wish ourselves well. Thank you for coming once again. I remain yours sincerely in creativity, Stanley Ban. I'm handing over to the moderators. And I'm referring to Ugochukwu Madumere from Vision Africa and Michael Oni from Flo-Fm. All right, I've been told that the governor of Abia State is here already, so please, let's welcome the governor of Abia State so he can take his seat. Please, that was one of the reasons I said when our candidates are coming, we must clear the road for them to come. It won't be good that candidates will be struggling to find their way to the podium. Please, I beg of you, let's clear that part. Let's clear that part. All right. All right, please. We want everyone here. If you're in this hall, please sit down. If you're inside this hall, please sit down. Let's stop moving around. Any form of perambulation, please stop. Sit down, please. We mean business, and it's important we maintain decorum here. Just sit down, please. Let's get this debate started the way it's supposed to be. Abians are great people. Abians are great people. If you know what I'm saying, Abians are great people. In our history, we have great men who truly are aspiring to be part of the leadership of the state. Please, let us sit down and then accord respect to everyone. It's important. If you're not part of the crew, there's no point standing. Please sit down, please. If you're not part of the crew, sit down, please. Or if you're not part of the protocol to any of the candidates coming in, please, I beg of you, sit down. It's important. I can see Chigozie Olaruwaju is already seated from Vision Africa Radio. And Ugo Nwankwo, the Ompan president, is already seated as well. I can also see Samuel Eze from Flo-Fm, Omar here. I will join you very soon. Very, very soon I will join you. Olaruwaju, thanks for coming. I'm not going to thank Ugochukwu again. I've thanked him enough. Ugochukwu, thanks for coming. All right, for the partnering media establishments, I want to say kudos to everyone that's been part of this. It started like one thing that wouldn't really happen, but then we all persevered, we all stood firm, we all believed in this state, and everyone had to come together to make this happen. I also want to thank most especially Emenike of Abia Facts Online TV. He's quite a very rugged person, positively, I mean. His determination, trust me, it's really outstanding. And this has really given so many other persons involved the reason, to get connected to this project. And I'm so happy. I will not regret being part of the project. I will not regret dragging my station into this project. And I'm happy today we're having great people. Mama, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. And it's important also to have you being part of this. It simply means you truly believe in this state. Thanks for coming. Every one of you, every member of the current government here seated, I may not mention your names, all the commissioners here present, all the SAs to the governor and so on. Thank you so very much for being part of this program. We appreciate you. The team appreciates you. Abia debate team appreciates you. For everyone who came here to watch, to hear, and to also see what is going to happen today, thank you. Can see our mothers in their uniform. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of this day. This is a historic day in the history of Abia State, the God's own state. Trust me, it is a historic day. We will live to always remember today. And I assure you, this will usher in a lot of peace in this state, because it's always good to have candidates from various ends come together to talk to each other, to dish out what they've got in their school of thought. At the end of the debate, you shake hands and hug each other. It tells you it is for love and not for hate. And if only we understand it from this perspective, Abia can always be a better state for all of us, where we can join our hands and say, yes, we will move this state forward. And I think that is what this day will bring. Thank you for coming once again. All right, now that they are seated, before I hand over, I would want to ask the DJ, please light music, just a very soft one, while we wait for the rest of our candidates to step into the podium. Once they come in, I'll introduce them and then hand over to the moderators. DJ, please.
Well, you're still following proceedings of the Abia Goba election debate. History is about to be made in Abia State today. The governorship candidates, you call them the front runners, but they are just mere candidates today. And they are going to take the center stage to tell everybody what they want to do for the people of Abia State. And that's the situation here. Right here seated is Right Honorable Blessing Nwagba of the Social Democratic Party. Barrister Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party is equally ready for this. The governor, we understand, is somewhere around the corner.
Yeah, it's around.
We are expecting the other candidates are talking about the candidate of the Progressive Congress.
Yeah, Dr. Uche Samson Oga.
But what do you make of the atmosphere here?
Very interesting. It shows that people are eager for this very election.
Go on.
It shows they are eager to know what the governor have for them. If you are coming in, for one thing or the other, what is the person coming to do? So people here with the turnout shows that they are eager, to see how it goes and what the people have to offer. They are already here. And without missing word, like we said, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu is already around the building. And we have Honorable Blessing Nwagba in the building, and Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. So it's not a joke right here.
Well, I must tell you that the hall is almost filled up, and people are very much expectant, waiting to hear from their candidates. One thing that's been very unique about this occasion is the interest that the debate has generated from the level of that of House of Representatives. You remember how we started from Vision Africa Radio.
It was hot,
was fiery and very explosive. But here we are now. So, what do you make of the development, the stage-by-stage growth of this process to where we are now, Olariwaju? It looks like a success story already.
It is. For me, it's a success story because looking at it from the first day, it looks as if it's a do or die affair, with Ben Carlo and Chima. But after that, preceded and it's something great, turning out fine each day and every moment in the debate. With people really coming out to show what they have and to inform people their intentions, their plans. And to an extent, I felt it is not just because of the seat. At times people say they are going in there just for their own selfish interest or maybe for what they would get. But from the debate, we actually found out that they have the interest of the people at heart.
Yes, it's been wonderful. And then so far, Abians have been able to judge some of the candidates who had the opportunity to debate, judge them by what the promises, not like someone going into the office and you wouldn't have an opportunity to ask him or her what he has done or what he promised. Or here you heard him, we even have them on records. Like in case they deviate from whatever thing they have promised, one can have a cost. Call the person, hey, you promised this and you're not doing that.
Yeah, that's another way. Accountability.
Exactly. It's another way of helping the electorate, not just to take the decision of voting, but holding them to account.
Yeah, but did you observe that this time around, they were not making so much of these promises, like before we'll tell you about we'll build this, we'll do this, we'll do that sort of cycle parts. It's as if it's something they know will be achievable.
There's that level of caution now, because the era of you coming to promise heaven and earth and doing little is over. So you have to promise what is realistic and what you can actually do. People have become very cautious. You put your mouth where your money is. You do not say things that you know you cannot do.
Yeah, people are enlightened now and you can't just fool them. I even want to believe that when we make so much promises, they will not believe you again. I don't think anybody will believe you again. And so at this time, we want to really see what's going to happen and how they will go about it. It's no longer about promises these days. Days where they will promise, we'll build skyscrapers, we'll do that, and then there's no break.
All right, my name is Samson, and Olariwaju has been very much of help here. Stanley, all the way from Abia, are you here? Awesome.
All right, Stanley from Flo-Fm anyways, and it's been awesome, I must tell you. The atmosphere is quite unique. The atmosphere is awesome. A lot of people are sort of, aging to come inside the hall, but then everyone won't come in. But trust me, we already have candidates of Accord party, candidates of SDP, and the governor is here at the moment, and we've just been signaled that Alex Otti of the All Progressive Ghana Alliance is also here. It tells you how important this debate is. Abians, are you ready? How ready are you? Just a moment to get this done. And if you're listening to us from this end, it promises to be a cracker, trust me.
All right, Stanley, you've been following the debate, and we just talked about the issue of promises and promises, but it's as if this time they are not making much of the promises. What do you make of that?
You must be careful with what you say. It's always like that. So I believe people are becoming quite, very close to that fact that if you make promises that you can't keep, it falls back on you with time. So I think what they're trying to do is to be careful, say things you're sure you can do, say things you know you can really, achieve if you eventually emerge.
And that's right. Thank you so much, Stanley.
A pleasure.
We are all here, and we are believing God it will turn out fine.
Definitely. Thank you.
A pleasure.
We don't want people standing. We don't want people standing. Please, don't stand at home. Sit down, please. Sit down very quietly. Sit down very quietly, please.
All right, this is Flo 94.9 FM, the Flow of Godson State, and we are lifting this broadcast live at Abia Hotels here in Umuahia. It is the Abia State Debate Group being organized by various partnering radio station, Flo-Fm in Abia, Vision Africa here in Umuahia, and Flo-Fm 94.9 FM Umuahia. And other online media, they are all here seated. And this is also to announce the arrival of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Victor Okezie. We understand that he's also around here. And also the governorship candidate for the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, that is Dr. Alex Otti is also around. They are also outside, waiting to be ushered into the hall. And also have Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party and Lady Blessing Nwagba of the Social Democratic Party. They are all here, also seated already, waiting for the commencement of this particular debate. I can tell you that Abians are also in anticipation of what these governorship candidates are going to say to them as the 2019 election hots up here in the state. Samson Eze is also standing by, and a guy from Vision Africa is also here.
99.7 Flo-Fm Umuahia and Vision Africa Radio Umuahia. They are all doing the needful to ensure that Abians hear whatever that is happening today. We also have the online media practitioners who are streaming live, so you're sure to get what you want to get. Abia Facts, thank you. And also we've seen NTA here. They're also here to cover the event. We're expecting other TV stations, channels, and the rest of them to also be part of the event. Channels already here. We have channels already, well, I almost said studio. I used to studio. They're already in the hall doing the needful. We have quite a number of media houses already here. So we assure you this is not just about us here. Certainly, Nigerians are listening. Nigerians definitely will watch as well. So please, it is the moment. The panelists are all there. The moderators are here. I also want to recognize the timekeeper, Ehirim Benadine from Abia Facts Online TV. Benadine, thanks. You've been part of the project. Thank you so very much for your hard work. All right. Please, let's sit down. Let's be comfortable wherever we are. We have enough seats. We have enough seats, so please, the moment you come in, it's important to sit down so we can get started. Please. Abia State Debate, Governorship Debate 2019, organized by the Abia State Debate team. It's a team of young men who are truly, may I please recognize the presence of the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti, who is here with the, deputy governorship candidate of the party. And also the wife, can also see the wife. The wife is also here to be part of this debate today. You're welcome. All right, I think we're getting ready. Obviously, we're getting ready. In the next couple of minutes, we will get started. This is what it should be. It should be a friendly thing. It should be a friendly thing. All right, please, if you're seated, if you're standing, please get seated. If you're standing, please get seated. Wherever you are, if you're standing, get seated, please. I beg of you, get seated. We must maintain decorum here. Get seated, please. All right, please. There was something I said earlier on. I said the moderators we read out the
Oh
rules.
yes, it appears we are set and finally set to get this rolling, get the show on the road. We have four governorship candidates already seated. Kenika Olwa. We have Alex Otti, he's already on ground. Barrister Emeka Uwakolam is on ground. Leslie Nwagba is on ground. Governor Victor Okezie Ikpeazu, we understand, is somewhere around the building. And then, what are we expecting?
Yeah, I think we are expecting a robust discussion today, Samson, if I may say. If you look around, the atmosphere here is quite electric, and people are quite expectant to hear what these candidates are going to tell them, especially where in regards to the welfare and governance of Abia State in the next 4 years. I think, like I said earlier, we had similar thing yesterday at the cathedral, at Mater Dei Cathedral, where all of them, reeled out what they intend to do for the people in the next 4 years, especially in Abia State. And then again, some of us missed out on that particular debate, but today is another opportunity for the people of the state to listen attentively and listen to what these candidates have for us in the next 4 years. I think I will urge everybody, especially people in Abia State, to listen to this, to hook up to Flow 94.9 FM to get the full gist of what these candidates have to tell us.
But the biggest part of this is that it is not just on Flow 94.9 FM. You can actually follow through on Vision Africa Radio. You can follow through on Pulse 89.7 FM Abia. And then Flo-Fm is streaming this event live on YouTube. The governor just arrived the hall now. Yeah. And it looks like we're about to start.
This is just announcing the arrival of the governor into the hall. He has just exchanged some pleasantries with the candidates already there. I can see a warm handshake with the governorship candidate of Accord Party, Emeka Uwakolam, with the governor, and the lady Blessing Amba also exchanged pleasantry with the governor. And top contender today, Dr. Alex Otti, also extended a warm handshake.
Call them political fools, call them enemies, call them candidates, call them whatever. They are all Abians. And the biggest occasion is this event because this is one rare opportunity that they have to meet one-on-one, sit for a very long time.
But some say obviously someone seems to be missing in this whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that should be the governorship candidate for the Congress. That is Dr. Samson Uche. I know that just I expected most Abians would have loved to see the young man here.
I believe the panelists are ready
alongside his political foes today. But
we have
what do you make out of this?
Well, it's from Vision Africa.
Very sad how people shun or people snob or how people get themselves out of this kind of big occasion. Yesterday there was another platform where the governor was conspicuous. The governor wasn't in action. And today I think he has made up for that. He is here now. Dr. Uche Samson Oga West, let's believe that he will make it to this place in good time. If he doesn't come, it's a low mark. It's a letdown for the supporters of that party. I'm very sure that we'll be expectant to hear from their own candidates when others are seated here are talking.
Okay, Samson, you've been one of the planners of this particular event.
Well, the event has started now, and we are taking you live back to the main event. Thank you very much, and have a nice time.
By the Abia State Election Debate Team.
My name is Ogochukwu Madumere.
And my name is Michael Oni.
Impartial timekeeper is Benedine Ehirim. This debate is courtesy of Abia State Election Debate Team in collaboration with some media concerns in the state with common interest in offering our candidates the ample opportunity to furnish the electorate, Abia citizens, with their programs and policies.
This morning, another history is in the making as the governorship candidates will vie to convince you on why they deserve your votes. Over the next 2 hours, they will be giving solutions to some of the problems facing the state, as well as offer possible solutions on the way forward.
I might interest you to know that this debate is live on our partnering media houses, including Balls 89.7 FM Abba, Flow 94.9 FM Umuahia, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM Umuahia, online TV. You can equally follow the proceedings on all online media platforms in Abia State under the Online Media Practitioners Association of Nigeria, OMPAN. It is also live on 94.9 FM's YouTube and also on bit.do/Vision Africa Radio. That means you can watch and listen from anywhere in the world. At this point, we will call on the chairman of the Abia State Election Debate Committee, Mr. Emenike Uwakolam, for an opening remark. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Emenike Uwakolam, chairman of the Abia State Election Debate Committee, for his opening remark.
Address presented by the chairman, Abia State Election. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, distinguished gubernatorial candidate, all other here, distinguished people of Abia State. It is a special day today, to the glory of the Almighty God, that we are all exceedingly blessed to be present on this edition of Abia gubernatorial debate organized by Flo-Fm, Vision Africa, Pulse FM, Online Media Practitioners of Nigeria, OMPAN, Abia State Chapter. I welcome you all to this great event that promises to be indelible in the hearts of all present. Today, we chart the course of the progression of Abia State for the betterment of the future of our dear state. This debate promises to leverage us with the opportunity to meet our distinguished candidates, their social, economic, education, and security policies for Abia State. Today, we are not here to fight. Rather, we are here to grow peace and unity amongst the political parties. This cannot be effectual if we refuse to stay together, and together we must say no to political hatred and battles. To these most distinguished Abians here and those following us on all our partnering media platforms all over the world, thank you for your support. To Abia State Election Debate Team, I'm grateful for the teamwork and for the success recorded through the Federal House Senatorial and the biggest Abia gubernatorial debate. Thank you very much. Please, before I hand over the mic, please, it's important I emphasize on some certain rules that are extremely very important. It will be important that these rules are emphasized for everybody to know it. Please, this is not a campaign ground. This is not a place for cheering and jeering. Allow the candidates communicate. You can go outside and congratulate them at the event. I want to appreciate everybody for obeying this rule. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And to invite candidates who are already seated right here in this establishment. And we'll be starting, we'll invite the we will be inviting the candidates alphabetically according to the parties. The candidate of the Accord Party, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. Please help me welcome Barrister Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party to the podium. And in the order of the political parties, up next is the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, up next is the of the state candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Okezie Victor Ikpeazu. And our last candidate debates today is of the Social Democratic Party, Honorable Mrs. Blessing Nwagba.
At this juncture, let me state the rules of the debate. Candidates are expected to respond to questions or make their point in maximum of 5 points. First ring of the bell indicates warning, while the second ring of the bell indicates your time is up. Candidate reserves the right to counter a position stated by the order through rebuttal, which will be stated in the course of this debate. We frown at the use of foul language or gesture that connote hate speech. We advise the candidate to maintain decorum and to not walk out of the debate. Questions from the audience can be passed through the ushers, then to the panel. And let me reiterate this, there's no cheering, no jeering, no booing from the audience in the hall. A presentation of certificates will be at the end of the debate. Before we commence the business of the day, we would invite our candidate to step forward as we take the Abia State Anthem as a mark of commitment to unity and progress of Abia, the God's own state. The Abia State Anthem, please. Thank you very much. You can have your seat.
Right, on the biggest discussion in the Abia project, candidates have agreed to a set of rules guiding this exercise, but let's to make your point for opening remarks, which would take 5 minutes each. Sent by any of the candidates, you have the right to reply in 2 minutes for rebuttal. On the biggest discussion in Abia project, the candidates who we already have here seated have agreed to a set of rules guiding this exercise. But let's emphasize that you have 3 minutes each to make your point, except your opening remarks, which will take 5 minutes each. In a case of direct reference sent by any of the candidates, you have the right to reply in 2 minutes when the
Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the debate proper. We will be starting with the first question here. We're starting off with the introductory remarks by the candidates, getting to know your suitability for the aspired position and why you want to be the governor of Abia State. You have 5 minutes. We will be beginning with the candidate of the Accord Party.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. And I welcome everybody to this debate. My name is Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. I'm from Umuahia. And by the grace of God, I am the candidate for Accord Party for the gubernatorial race of the state. I am one Abian that is very passionate about Abia, that really believe that Abia should go forward. My inspiration to run for this race is predicated on the fact that I strongly believe that the masses, the people of Abia, has been serially shortchanged by the successive government. I strongly believe that Abia deserves far more better than it is presently getting. I strongly believe that Abia, as the #1 state and as a God's own state, the light of God should strongly be present in Abia. The issue concerning development of Abia is something that is very worrisome to me, and that is why I believe I should represent the people of Abia, the downtrodden people of Abia, the people that hitherto have no voice in what is happening in Abia, because I believe strongly that the successive government in Abia has not been pro the people of Abia. And that is why I also decided that Abia must be one. We must hand over this state to God, that the light of God will shine in Abia state so that there can be meaningful development. I've said this severally. And secondly, to hand over this state to the people of Abia, the rightful owners of this state, that there must be accountability, there must be transparency, there must be accessibility to government programs and policies. I strongly believe, I'm very passionate about Abia. I strongly believe that as it is today, the people of Abia are very far from governance. And these are the people who owns the power. And they should be made to be accounted for. And secondly, the essence of governance, government is entrusted. It is an entrusted position, and every entrusted position, there must be accountability. There must be accountability and transparency. And therefore, the people of Abia, we don't need to play politics with our people. We need to be transparent. We need to be transparent. Everything concerning Abia must be the paramount interest of every administration. Every administration that comes to Abia must think out, one, how to advance the people. Two, how to advance the state. Three, to make this state truly in a position where it belongs to. Now, I don't know if Abia can feel comfortable to be in the Committee of State and be discussed in the light of very positive achievement and progress. Therefore, I've consulted with the people of Abia. We had one organization called Abia Coalition Movement, and this will identify certain issues that need to be addressed that hitherto that not been addressed by successive government, and we decide that it is time to take the bull by the horn and also be involved, because what you get by not being involved, no matter the ideas that you have, is successive maladministration. And that is why we decide to be involved. And believe you me, Abia, after today and after this election, Abia must move forward. I strongly believe that, because we are here to make sure that the managers of this state, whatever they are not doing right, we are here to make sure that things are done right. When we point it out to them and they decide to do that right, Abia will benefit from it. And if you elect us, sincerely speaking, we'll be very honest with you, we'll be very transparent, we'll be very, very accessible. I've said this time without number. There are so many activities of government does not give room for advancement of the state. For instance, I said I would demystify the office of the governor. Today, the office of the governor.
Thank you very much, candidate of the Accord Party. Your time is up. Now to you, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti. You also have 5 minutes. We're starting off with the introductory remarks by you, and getting to know your suitability for this aspired position and why you want to be the governor of Abia State.
Thank you very much. Let me start by Acknowledging His Excellency the Governor of the State, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, and my colleagues who are here. I offered myself in 2015 for this position. The election was won by me, but the mandate was stolen. We went to court, and the rest, like they say, is history. Why do I want to be governor of Abia State? Two things. One, to develop Abia State. When you go to the internet now and you Google the dirtiest state in Nigeria, don't be surprised what you will see is Abia. And as we were coming this morning, all what you saw were refuse dumps all over the place. So the state needs development. The second reason I'm offering myself is to lift Abia people from suffering. A lot of our people are dying today out of hunger, poverty, and the general state of the economy. And I think we can do better. It's 20 years since the advent of democracy, the Fourth Republic in Nigeria. 20 years is a long time for even a child to begin to grow up. Abia State has not started the journey of development. So I am passionate about developing my state of Abia. And that's why I'm offering myself. And there are a lot of things that we can do. I'm a trained economist, and I understand how the economy works. I had spent time documenting my thoughts on how the economy in Nigeria generally should run. And in one of my write-ups, I maintain a page, a back page column of This Day. I write every other Monday. Sometime about 2 years ago, precisely about the 16th of January, 2017, I had written a column that I titled, Exit Recession, Pay Salaries. A couple of people paid attention to that. And the logic was, I was advising governments at all levels, particularly state governments, that it does not make economic sense to owe people salaries. Because when you owe salaries, you basically shut down your economy. Salaries are what you pay people who have worked for you. So they're entitled to it in the first place. But I'm even saying beyond that, that when you pay people their salaries, you are not doing them a favor. Because when you don't pay a man, you have taken him out of economic activities because he cannot afford to buy food, he cannot pay school fees, he cannot buy anything. Now, when he's unable to buy, you know, the economy works on consumption and expenditure. So just think about it this way. For this microphone to be useful, somebody must demand it, somebody must buy it. If the person that wants to buy it does not have money to buy the microphone, then unfortunately, you are not going to sell it. If you're unable to sell your microphone, that means that the people who supply you, the vendors who supply you the material that you need to produce the microphone will also be out of business. And it's only a question of time before you now eventually shut down the business and dismiss of the people that are working with you. So the economy has a lot of linkages. When you do not pay salaries, you are promoting unemployment. You are promoting slowdown in economic activities. Today, Abia State, the GDP is about 9 billion naira. We are the 11th biggest economy when you measure all the states. But the reality is that in terms of development, we are actually like the last. In terms of education, yes, we have done well in terms of results with NECO and WAEC, but what does that translate to?
Thank you very much. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Now let's move to the incumbent who happens to be the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Your introductory remark, and also why do you think the people of Abia should give you another 4 years?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Okezie, Ikpeazu. I'm a biochemistry teacher. My last station was Enugu State University, where I rose to become head of department. And my name is Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu. I'm a biochemist, and the last station where I worked was Enugu State University, where I rose to become head of department and member of University Senate. And I'm very happy and proud to say that that university is still standing. And as I speak today, they are graduating PhD students. I came in 2015 to lead Abia on a clear vision, rested on 5 pillars of development. And I agree that payment of salary is very important. That is why we have paid all members of staff working in all our ministries. Parastatals are owing, and we insist that physical discipline must be extended to all parastatals, that they should do well independently, as Abia State University is doing well and has run 3 years without let, no strikes, no owing of salaries in Abia State University. That is the template for all parastatals in Abia today. Beyond that, we know that all parts of Abia are important in the development of Abia. And no one person has exclusive knowledge of what we need to develop Abia. I will make my contribution, and others will make their contributions. Our people is the greatest asset that we have. That is why, since the past 3 years, we have invested on the people of Abia, leveraging what we are doing at Abia and elsewhere to ensure that the world know us for better reasons than other people who want us to be known. Today, shoemakers in Abia, garment makers around Abia are celebrated all over the world. Last month, I attended Afreximbank trade fair in Egypt, and to my pleasant surprise, ordinary tailors were at that exhibition on account of their prowess. Afreximbank came, picked them up at Area and paid for their way and sponsored them to be part of that exhibition. That wouldn't have been possible 3 years ago. Yes, the enablers that we need to develop the 5 pillars that we are running on include road infrastructure, include security, include ease of doing business. Today, as I speak, Abia is among the first 5 states in terms of growth in ease of doing business in Nigeria. Beyond that, we know in 2013, the time we were picking AK-47 on the streets of Abia, since 2015 till now, there's no single case of bank robbery anywhere in Abia State, to the glory of God. We are not there yet, but we are making progress. If you come to education, yes, we've been first back-to-back on West African Examination Council exams in Nigeria. And we have retrained our teachers using Australian teachers, and they have trained a total of 3,500 primary school teachers. Beyond that, we have renovated 340 schools. We have renovated 72 secondary schools. We have also, beyond education, we have gone to the area of roads. I mean, the first flyover in Abia State today is being done by us, and that is unfortunate that it had not been done before. Our intervention on Abia Road is legendary. We are doing Fox Road using the best contractors in Nigeria. As I speak today, Abia, on the 26th of scale in terms of revenue, is using 3 grade A contractors, and no other state is doing that. We pioneered cement pavement technology in this place. Agriculture is also an area we are doing well. I want to say that our future under our leadership looks better, because this is the first time we are running on a vision. This is the first time we are running on what we have done and what we are doing. And we think that the essence of this debate today is for us to say what we have done in the past and how we intend to bring that to bear about what we want to do in Abia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for keeping to time. Now to the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Lady Blessed Nwagba. We want your introductory remarks and also why your suitability for this aspired position and why you want to become the governor of Abia State.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, moderator. Let me very specially acknowledge the presence of our governor, the governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie, Ikpeazu, and my other Guba candidates here. My name is Honorable Dr. Blessed Nwagba. I am a member of the Abia State House of Assembly, a two-time member of the Abia State House of Assembly, representing Abia North State constituency in the Abia State House of Assembly. I am a sociologist by training. I have a doctorate degree in sociology. I have, over the years, played politics, retired civil servant, member of the board of UCH, and many other positions I have held in government. I am a mother of 4, and I am, in all, a politician who wants to add value to governance. Now, why I'm running? I am running. I have looked at Abia. I have looked at Abia the way it is. And I ask questions. Why are a number of things the way they are? Why is it that Abia is the way I see it today? Why is it that we have massive unemployment? Why is it that we have infrastructural decay in a number of places? Why is it that we cannot give subsidies or why is it that we cannot give loans and bursaries? Why is it that we cannot do a number of things which I think can be done by a state as well as by this state as other states are doing? So I look at it and think that in my position as the governor of this state, that a number of these issues that bother me would be taken care of. Why is it that there's massive poverty? Why is it that our agriculture is not as developed as we want it to develop? So I now chose to be on the board, to be on the steering of governance of Abia State, so that I can look into a number of these issues and do them better, and alleviate poverty in Abia State, and be in a position where I can, by alleviating poverty, pay salaries. Yes, understandable that it may not pay all the time, but we know that if our economy is revitalized, like I have in my blueprint, if our SMEs are encouraged the way they should by giving them conducive environment, if our infrastructure is developed by giving light and other things, then you discover that the economy of Abia will grow, and you'll be able to handle these issues that I consider terrible and abhorrible in Abia State. So I think that by being governor of Abia State, I'm going to handle, I've already drawn my blueprint based on 3 pillars. One is economic revitalization, the other is infrastructural development, the other is social development. And in all of this, I say that in economic development, we are going to look into agriculture to see that we revitalize the agriculture, that we're going to have agri-value chain, we're going to have, in which case you have storage facilities in the industry we're going to develop in these localities. We're going to employ personnel who will encourage, who will teach these farmers in the various localities and let them be a lot more productive. Beyond that is that in doing that, you're going to create employment. You create employment, and when you create employment, the poverty we are talking about today is going to be seriously alleviated. Then you talk about the SMEs. Yes, the SMEs in Ariara, for instance, have been given, a number of them have been given opportunities, like they have electricity in about 1,000 shops in Ariara. But I think we can employ other ways of generating electricity to support that. And when that is done, you discover that these people will work all through the night, the economy will be improved, they will pay their taxes, the state will generate a lot more revenue to now take care of the things I would want to do as a governor. So in infrastructural development, are we talking of the roads? Yes, a number of roads have been done, but many of the rural roads are yet to be done. And when the state when there's serious accountability, when there's serious accountability, you will generate these funds, including the ones we get from IGR, the ones we get from FAC, from the federal, then the ones we are going to generate, then the ones we are going to be getting from donor agencies, which of course do come. All these will be used to revitalize our economy and handle infrastructural development. Then more importantly, there's going to be great accountability. In collection of these revenues, we tend to deploy personnel who
Thank you, Mrs. Blessing Nwagba. Your time is up. Before we move on, please let us reiterate that cheering, booing, and jeering from the audience is not allowed. But if you're part of the audience, you can send your questions through our ushers and it will get to the panel. Now to the next issue, and we will be starting with you, candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. As an economist, of course you know, no government can thrive effectively without a buoyant economy. What are your plans to grow the economy of the state and create a conducive environment for investment? And from now on, each candidate will have 3 minutes.
Thank you. There was a politician in Ghana. His name is Kwame Nkrumah. He said, seek ye first the political kingdom, and all other things will be added unto you. But that was in the 60s. Things have since changed. If you don't seek the economic kingdom, you lose every other thing. And the major problem that Abia has is the management of the economy. The economy needs to be transparently and professionally managed. And why do I say so? I talked about the crisis, the economic crisis, the recession that we have just pulled ourselves out of. When you have a situation where your economy is declining on an average basis, what to do is to stimulate that economy. How do you stimulate the economy? You need to put money into the system somehow. And it starts with payment of salaries, like I said before. It starts with supporting industries by making cash available for them one way or the other. It also starts with supporting agriculture so that you can, because you need to plant before you reap, so that you can reap from the internally generated revenue. Now, talking about internally generated revenue, Abia State raises just about 23% of its total revenue from IGR. I think that's poor. We rely 73% on federal allocation, and that is oil and gas. Now, the price of oil is going down. There's crisis everywhere. So if we do not prepare ourselves to diversify our economy, and Abia is blessed with good human resources, people who are very creative and skilled. So we need to harness those. And how do you harness them? You harness them by ensuring that they are properly trained, they are properly supported, and when you do that, then you are able to now ask from them. Industrialization is key, agriculture is key, then education is also very, very critical. I will come back to that much later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alex Otti of APGA. Now to you, candidate of the Accord Party, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. What are your plans to grow the economy of the state and create an enabling environment for investment?
Yeah, actually, coming to the economy of the state, I have pointed out something. I said there is enormous poverty in Abia State. And that poverty is orchestrated. Orchestrated in the sense that I'm not trying to accuse anybody, but the fact is that the money of Abians are not used in Abia. They are not used in Abia. I don't know, but the fact is that the cash in Abia State are being popped up and taken somewhere else. And at the end of the day, the money is not circulating. And come to think about it, do you know that Abia State is naturally endowed, heavily naturally endowed? If you go to Arochukwu, we have limestone. If you go to somewhere in Lobuku, we have gypsum, and we have Kualin. everywhere. We have zinc, we have done what we are called natural resources audits in this state, to be able to understand where our potentials of raising money comes from. And secondly, I wish is except the time we stop using the internal revenue to patronize political allies, then there will always be a hole in the bag of Abia. Because if what is generated from internal revenue goes into the coffers of the state, I think the economy of this state will grow. But in a situation, for instance, I was interacting with some people, Keke people. You take 60 naira from them when they are going back, coming back. At the end of the day, a Keke man is paying more than 1,000 naira, and yet the road through which is passing is not built. So where is the money going to? To some abros? So what I'm trying to say is that the bottom line of administration is honesty. If our leaders will be very honest, I'm telling you that Abia should be in the center of world discourse as regards of its economic competence. And as a governor, if I'm elected, I will look at other ways of generating this internal revenue and raising up. We have a lot of ways. Look at Abia, for instance. In yesteryears, we have industries. Nanakalos. Where are they? All those industries we have, Canal, and so on, all of them are dead. Why is it so? Successive government, and we are still talking about road after 20 years, when we should have gone beyond where we are now to be talking about real economic development to make Abia really number one.
Thank you, candidates of the Accord Party. Your time is up. Moving on now to the incumbent and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu. You have manned the economy from 2015 to date. How would you assess the performance of your administration in terms of the economy, and what are your plans to make it even better?
Thank you very much. By 2030, the population of Abia, just like Nigeria, will double. And the characteristic of that population will be that most of the people within Nigeria and Abia will be young people. So there are only two options for us. One is agriculture. Agriculture for two reasons. One, to put food on our table and to provide raw material for industries. The second option is massive industrialization. Abia is one of the smallest states in land area, so we don't even have the luxury of huge mechanized farming. So we must think of how to deploy science and technology to do the kind of farming that we require. What we have been able to do in Abia is to leverage what our people can already do and have a peep into what we think Abia should look like in the next 10 years. We are not running a government for election. We are running a government for the next generation. That is why we have conceptualized the Enyimbe Economic City, which has received wide endorsement all over the world as the best and most attractive industrial city in Africa today. Designed by Subaru Duran from Singapore, part of those who did Dubai. We are looking for 11 anchor companies. We already have 4. We are starting with a textile mill on a 200-hectare land that will take over 16,000 workers. Our vision is to provide 700,000 jobs between now and the next 10 years. And that is the way to look. On agriculture, we are doing an entirely new cassava economy that will have our rural women at the base of the pyramid, making sure that they earn at least 4 million naira every year just by cropping cassava. This is the only way to go. Again, we are using our left hand to also ensure that we provide an enabling environment to revitalize ailing industries in Abia. I am proud to say, contrary to what my brother and friend said on channels the other day, Golden Guinea is not moribund. Golden Guinea, I am sure, will come back on stream between now and the next 6 months. And we have made our contributions to ensure that they receive money from back of industry to enable them procure raw materials. So if Golden Guinea comes back, I know the problem with modern ceramics, and I will talk about it later. And systematically, we revive ailing industries and provide power through geometrics, because one of the investors we got has funded geometrics to the tune of $136 million US. I am also optimistic that we have unlocked geometrics. So power is in our kitty, and the new Enyimbe Economic City It's our vision to provide 700,000 jobs. With what we are doing with Tenara, oil palm, and cassava, I am sure that very, very soon, the problem of unemployment in Abia will indeed be a thing of the past. I am sure that the image of Abia today is better than it was 5 years ago.
Thank you very much. And now to you, candidates of the... All right, please, no cheering, we don't allow that from the audience. Moving on to you, Mrs. Blessing Nwagba of the Social Democratic Party. If elected governor of the state, how would you ensure that the state becomes an investment hub and that there is a general growth in the economy?
Thank you very much once again. For any economy to thrive, to attract foreign investment, and to attract even local investors into your state, there has to be security. It has been proven by studies that there cannot be development where there is insecurity. So what I would do first is to ensure that we improve on the security in the state. What that means is that we are going to have community policing. And when you have that, because everybody knows the order in your environment, issues of crime will be seriously reduced. Because whatever we say about investment, people are watching. It is a global world where an economy, where a society is not very safe. Yes, no matter what you preach, people will come, go around, eventually they will leave and they won't come back. So I'm saying that security is prime. Then when that is done, I would ensure that agriculture, like I said before, is seriously embarked upon. Because our oil is almost gone, so we must find other ways of raising our economy, and agriculture is key. So we're going to have, in the local governments, because we're also going to let local governments utilize their revenue that comes from the FAC, we would ensure that they get into agriculture in the areas where they have comparative advantage. Where you have, like in Abia, the local governments can get into small and medium-scale enterprises. You encourage them to do that. Where you have agriculture, where you have land, like Umunochi or Okwa area, the local governments there will see that they invest in things that will enable them to have comparative advantage over the other. By that, they will increase the economy. And I would also do a number of other things, which I think my time is up. Thank you very much.
Well, the first ring of the bell indicates warning, while the second ring of the bell indicates your time is up. So, okay. Well, but let's move on to the next question, which will be addressed to you. Now to the education sector. What programs do you have for the education sector if you're elected as the governor of Abia State?
Education?
Education sector. What are your programs?
Okay. For me, education, of course, is also very key for development. I would, like I have drawn in my blueprint, ensure that first you give good infrastructure to our schools. Because where the infrastructure is not okay, is not conducive for learning, the children or the students or whoever would not be able to learn as well as it should. So we'll see that we refurbish the schools, primary, secondary, and nursery. Even the tertiary institutions, we ensure that the environment for learning is conducive enough. Again, we will see to the fact that they have teaching aids, because when you have teaching aids in schools, children are able to learn better. Today, people don't understand that. They don't seem to care. Because when what you see, what you are taught with, what you are shown in the course of learning by way of demonstration, enables you to assimilate more. So we see that these schools that we have use teaching aids to teach their children. Then beyond that is that we'll ensure that quality teachers are employed and that these teachers are trained and retrained. Because it is the quality of the teachers that will determine the quality of students that you get out at the end of the day. Then for the tertiary institutions, we will encourage the students by giving them bursary. Because there are many of them who are so handicapped, they can't even pay their fees. When we went to school, there were bursaries. So because we are going to run a transparent government where you would accountable government, a government where accountability is prime, we intend to generate enough revenue to support our students in the school. So we give them bursaries for those in the first degree, undergraduates. Then for those who are going for higher degrees, we'll see that we give them loans. We give them loans. No, we give them scholarship, not loans. We give them scholarship because we intend that those ones who are going to special areas would add greater value to our society. Then we would also see that we have people engage in areas, skill acquisition is a kind of training, because when people are trained in skill areas, they get skilled, they are more productive. Like Abia Poly, for instance, you see that you emphasize in such skill acquisition centers and skill acquisition areas that they have in their school, empower them, encourage them, give them the necessary things, support they need, and they will have people who are going to acquire more skill to impact more on the society and the development of the society. And by so doing, our economy will be revitalized and most other things will be in place.
All right, thank you very much. And now to the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. You happen to be the incumbent and you're on the defensive this time around. What have you done so far in the education sector, and what do you intend doing if re-elected as the governor of Abia State?
Straightforward. In terms of education, we started by crafting a vision in terms of policy. What kind of education do we need for our environment? And we answered ourselves and said, we need skill-based education. Education that can support SMEs and industrialization going forward. That was why we started within the first 100 days to revamp the technical schools we have at Aba, Umuahia, and Ohofia. And we started the Education for Employment program, E4E, which has the biggest database in Nigeria today, 34,000 youths, separated and segregated according to skill set and qualification. But beyond that, our strategy is to do two things simultaneously. The first one is capacity building, because from beginning, the ATI program of the federal government diluted the quality of teachers in Nigeria because they wanted to play a catch-up with the northern states. And that is why in Kaduna, a primary school teacher can't take the math of a pupil 4 class. So we decided to do capacity building for our teachers by bringing in Australian NGO that is not charging the state any money, but they have trained over 3,000 teachers, and it has culminated in the establishment of Abia Continuing Teaching Education Center along Library Avenue, where they come from time to time and interface with our teachers, and then especially introduce them to basics of ICT, so that our primary 3 pupils going forward will be able to at least appreciate what the computer is, and that will make him more competitive going forward. Then the next one is to do something about basic infrastructure in schools. I have not been able to clamp down on one private school because I have not been able to show an example of what a good school is. But glory be to God today that we have done 340 classrooms, and if you go see our classroom blocks, you will notice that you see the Okezie signature. They look very beautiful, like residential buildings. Again, the 4 model schools are located, one at Otisioma, the other one at Obingwa, one in Umuahia, the other one at Ohofia. And the idea is that these model schools, we have teachers' quarters, hostels for students, security, ICT lab powered by solar, and library powered by solar also. So we are trying to make sure that we return to the old academic environment setting, where teacher and students will be residing side by side. Because what we realize these days is that schools are abandoned after 3 p.m. and adults take over to play soccer or do other things and end up abusing, stealing the funds, and destroying school infrastructure. So, but beyond that, the tertiary institutions, we are also ensuring that our flagship school, the Abia State University, is doing very well. Like I said earlier, it has run for 3 years.
Thank you very much, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
I didn't hear the first bell.
Your time is up. Thank you. Now to the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. Straight up, to the millions of Abians watching and also viewing, what are your plans in the education sector if elected the governor of Abia State?
Thank you. Education is so critical to development. The world has changed. In the world, the 21st century world, the world of robotics, the world of artificial intelligence, the world of 3D printing, I believe that we need to do a whole lot more. We need to revolutionize education in our state. The first thing that I would like to do is to seek for partners. And we already have ready partners in the missionaries who we collected schools from in the times past. I think that was during military administrations. So the first thing, in the first 90 days of my administration, I will return all missionary schools to them. That's the first thing that I'll do. Then I will look at curricula. That is so critical. What are we teaching our children? What are we teaching them in the 21st century? We have children coming out of school and they have never seen a computer. So what kind of student do you want to produce? So we are going to tinker with the curricula and ensure that we teach them what will help them adapt to the ever-changing world. Then in that mode, we'll be looking at science, technology, mathematics, and engineering. It's called STEM. We're going to pay a lot of attention. You find that a lot of people come out from school and they cannot even spell their names, irrespective of what grades they had. So the quality of education that they are getting is very, very poor. And we need to do something about it. Then the other one is about teachers. Who are our teachers? Who trained them? Where did they train? Now, I'm not disparaging them, but I believe that in the 21st century, we need to upgrade their skills. So we are going to equip the teacher training institutes. We are going to ensure that the teachers are trained and retrained. And of course, we are going to also call on some of the clergymen who were teachers in those days to get involved. And of course, funding is so important. According to United Nations, you must allocate about 25% of your budget to education. Even Nigeria is not able to achieve that. So we are going to critically ensure that our educational institutions are properly funded and teachers are paid as are when due and motivated. Finally, partnership with centers of excellence in the world, the Bangalows of this world, the Silicon Valleys. It is possible to have particularly our tertiary institutions to partner with them. And when we do that, then we would have been ready to take off into the new technology environment in the world where people are doing so many things. The good news is that Abia people are very creative and very imaginative, and they
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now to the candidate of the Accord Party, Barrister Uwakolam. What are your plans for millions of Abians as it concerns education if you're elected as the governor of this state?
Yeah, I want to appreciate the steps His Excellency said they have taken to improve education. But that is also worrisome. At this age, we are still talking about classroom, infrastructure, and so on and so forth. These are things that our children are entitled to before now. So to me, my administration is not something I will add as an achievement. We are going to look beyond that. What kind of education are we giving our children? Is it the kind of education that we want them to just pass exams? I heard Abia come first, second, or so on. Good. But we've gone beyond that. I represent the new age. Education should be geared towards solving problems. Do you know that the developmental problem of this state can be solved by ideas from secondary school or primary school children? What happens to our quiz? What happened to our talent hunt, science fairs, all those things that we used to do before? Those are the things, life-challenging, something that will be of need to our present age. These are the kind of education that I would want our children to have. Education that is geared towards solving contemporary issues. And when we are talking about that, how many public libraries do we have in Abia? How many e-libraries do we have in Abia? Functional ones, or even in our schools. There are so many things beyond classroom, beyond training teachers. beyond having equipped teachers, there are other things that we need in this state to enhance the quality of education. Our curriculum is outdated. I want to say it's there. It's outdated. Outdated method of arriving and so on and so forth. These are just to pass examination. But what about the ones to solve life issues? This government can generate a lot of ideas from children in primary school and nursery school, this age. And I want to ask a question. How many commissioners, how many government functionaries, how many of us here are children in private, in public schools? I want to bet you none. That means the schools are not good enough for our children. If it's not good enough for me, my child, not good enough for His Excellency's child, not good enough for Otti's child, and Blessing Nwagba's child, then why is it good enough for the people of Abia? That's the question. So we need to do much, much more. Let us go beyond the issue of infrastructure in this state and
thank
go
you
to
very
the
much,
matter.
the candidate
Thank
of
you.
Accord Party. It is still 2019 Abia State Governorship debate, and we're live here at Abia Hotel. We will take a break, and when we return, we take the first rebuttal right here at the hall. This is the opportunity. It will be the opportunity for candidates to counter a position stated by the other candidate. We will be right back.
Ndị Abia ebezina o ọga dị mma maleso tichiba anyị o ebezina ọga dị mma maleso tichiba anyị o mmadụ anaghị enyekwa n'ihe ọ na-enweghị amara eji achị ọchịchị sikwa na chi onye na-amaghị ya ka ọ fọzie nke onye ọzọ na-ele TV ma onye ọzọ ejide remote leziekwa na anyị ugbu a ka bụkwa ụtụtụ ndị Abịa hicha anya mmiri na-agbụ egere nwa ngwere ruo ọtịtọ Dr. Leso Oti bụ onye anyị na-achọ naanị ya pụrụ ime ka Abịa dịkwa mma ọzọ ngwa bịa n'ụlọ ka anyị bịanye aka na APGA ebe esere ọkụkọ okwu ngwalụlugbo unu kachi ntị ji ekwelu ndị Abịa ebezila n'oge dị mma ndị Abịa ebezina o ọga dị mma ndị Abịa ebezina maleso tichiba anyị o ebezina abibezina maleso tichiba anyị o
SDP progress SDP wanne me bena wejezina o ihe na-eme na-abịa na-agbamanya mmiri o anya na-agbago ka anyị na-agbada sai ndị ajizi anyị egwu o Abịa abangwa arọ chukwu bendele ikwu anọ isi ala mba isi kwatọ obi mba ọha afịa osisi ama ngwale ugwu na gbọ ụkwa ngwale ụmụahịa ụmụnne otu nna chukwu azagokwe ekpere ewo
ụmụnne m Chineke mere anyị ihe ọma site n'isitere anyị ezi nwaanyị nke ga-emesiri anyị Abia steeti oge mgbanwe ruola nwaanyị nwere ezigbo agwa nwaanyị hụrụ Abia n'anya nwaanyị nwere akọ n'uche nwaanyị ga-eleta ndị pensionia ma kwakwa ndị ọrụ ugbo n'oge nwaanyị ga-eleta ụmụ ogbenye ma rụọkwa ọrụ o kwesịrị ịrụ n'Abia steeti ụmụnne m ọha ndị Abia unu tụnyere Dave Blessing Nwagba total bless maka gọvanọ Abia steeti 2019 na pati nke a na-akpọ Social Democratic Party SDP bịanye aka gị ebe esere enye ọcha maka ọdịmma nke ndị Abia SDP
Welcome back, ladies. Still the discussion.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is still the biggest discussion in the Abia project, the gubernatorial debate organized by the Abia State Election Debate Team. And right here at the conference hall of Abia Hotels, Umuahia, the capital city of God's own state, we have the candidate of the Accord Party, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam, the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti, the state, candidate Nwagba. And remember this live on the partnering media house, including Boss 89.7 FM Abia, Flow 94.9 FM Umuahia, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM Umuahia, Abifax Online TV. And remember, you can equally follow proceedings on all online media platforms in Abia State under the Online Media Practitioners Association of Nigeria. You can watch on Flow 94.9 FM's YouTube page and follow on bit.do/Vision Africa Radio. You can watch and listen from anywhere in the world.
In Oz, you're welcome back to the report. Hello. All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. Well, we apologize for the break in transmission due to some technical itch there. But let's move on now. Let's go straight to reporters. Straight beginning with the candidate of the party. To disagree with, as stated by other candidates here, you have just 3 minutes to do that. Straight up to you, Barrister Uwakolam, the candidate of the Accord Party. What are the things you want to refute? We are going straight to reporters now. What are the things you want to refute, as stated by other candidates here today? You have 3 minutes.
Number one, I really don't want to sound very personal, because just like I said, I'm very passionate concerning the development of Abia. And anything I say, you should take it in good interest. Your Excellency, sir, you said something. I like the personality of the governor, but you said something concerning the things has been done in Abia. Does it mean that those things are not visible to Abians? Or because all of us here, apart from His Excellency, is saying that the government have done well. But 3 of us have not seen it that way. And I think Abians also have not seen it that way. I took a trip before I came back from Ebonyi State. You don't need to be told that the government don't need to come out and say we are working. Just pass there and go. And secondly, we are talking about made in Abia products. What have been done to enhance the quality of those things done? When I said poverty was orchestrated, I know what I mean. For instance, before now, our markets are not accessible. The infrastructure inside market are not giving any right for people to come and patronize those in the market. Except recently that I heard a first road had been done. What about inside the market? Now, what about now the government, this thing is going e-commerce. Is there any internet in our markets? These are things government can provide so that commerce can go e-commerce, internet transaction. This is what I want to be hearing from the 21st century governors. Because as a matter of fact, the kind of infrastructure we are still hearing is something that would have been done 20 years ago. Thank God the governor has said it here, that 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, it was not so. That means the successive governments have not been working. What I'm trying to say is this. Those things, we need things we can see and feel. The workers, here now, I'm talking about Abians. Abian workers, I beg to be corrected, are one of the poorest in the nation. I don't know when they eventually were paid. But for some time now, I know that they have been crying, real cry of lack of payment. Probably they have been paid. Glory be to God. What of those in the Parastatal? Are they not Abians? What about those in the other areas? This thing, to be very frank, if my candidature can enhance the quality of governance in this state, I must have achieved my aim. Thank you.
Time is up. Thank you. Hello. Permit me at this juncture. Hello.
Hello. Please. 2015, when he took over as governor of this state, cases of reported crimes was just a meager 186. 2 years after, reported crime in Abia has jumped to 12,408. While Anambra, a sister state, cases of reported crime in 2015 was 357. And as of 2017, 2 years after, it was 1,888. So my question will be, how could you have dealt with security the way he claimed if we have this kind of situation? The second one is on the road projects. I've taken the pains to go around Abia, and I found that the total number of projects that have been done is about 59. And we try to measure the roads, and they are just about 79.38 kilometers. 79.8 kilometers. So depending on the model that you are using, if you use Rochas Okorocha's model, that will cost about 4.8 billion naira. If you use Willie Obiano's model or Dave Omahe's model, it will cost about 6.8 billion naira. So my question is it appropriate that in 4 years that we have spent just about 6.8 billion naira on roads, and we are still celebrating that we have built several roads? Finally, I would like to talk about education. He said that model schools exist in some local governments. I understand. I remember Osisioma and the 3 others. Please, can you let us know what those schools are, where they are located specifically, because I don't seem to see them. Then the final one will be on agriculture. Yes, I've seen a lot of plans that have been laid, but there doesn't seem to be any appreciable move because our people are still struggling. Unemployment is at 28.3% in Abia today. Meanwhile,
Thank you very much, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Now, to you, the incumbent, it seems the questions are directed to you. So it is your turn to defend yourself as it concerns these questions by other candidates.
Thank you very much. I would like to start with the Accord Party candidate. He was asking what we have done about promotion of SMEs in Abia. I will start by informing him that by 2015, there was no road between Abia and Akwa Ibom. You can't go to Akwa Ibom from Abia, and 60% of our customers in Abia come from Akwa Ibom, whereas 40% is accounted for people coming from Port Harcourt and other places. So if you cut off Akwa Ibom, you have virtually cut off the supply chain of blood to Abia. We started from a place called Ntodino and did a road through Ikpeazu up until Abia Junction. And when you arrive at Abia Junction, how do you enter Abia? By 2015, there was only one road to Abia, into Abia from Umuahia or anywhere. And that was from that flag, that was Umuahia Road. And whenever 7-up truck breaks down anywhere on that road, it will create a log jam for 7 hours, at times a whole day. So we decided to do a triplet of roads. And I want to also use this opportunity to inform you that the Here Road has 9 inches concrete with BRC beneath it and then asphalt. That road had been intractable for 16 years. We did a Here Road, we did Umuala Road, steel cement technology, and then Ukebu Road, giving you 3 options through which to enter Abia. Now, if you enter Abia, where are you going to? That was what led us into thinking about Fox Road. For the first time in 16 years again, we've been able to do Fox Road end to end. And you remember when you people said there was juju at Amikone and the Fobra. Now that juju has disappeared. And it takes me back to the question asked by the APGA candidate. Both Rochas and Omahi, with due respect to those gentlemen, we are not doing any of what they are doing here. This is the only state within our economic bracket that is deploying 3 grade A contractors. And the kind of thing we do, because I seem to see people who don't understand their environment. They don't even understand the geopolitical zones in terms of territorial districts in Abia. How can you say that the thing you need to get through Fox Road is just to do the road? That is what they've been doing for 60 years. We had to do 6.5 kilometers drainage with pumps pumping intermittently from Infobra Pond to Waterside. And we had to request for a special engineer from Netherlands that Citraco must bring him. This government sacked a contractor before we got the right contractor to deal with it. The same thing on Abia Road. For 60 years, people were using trowel at the head pad to patch that road. Can't we see? So back to what you have said. These are just examples of some of the roads we have done leading to. But we had 4 challenges confronting the SMEs in Abia. One was funding, the other one was capacity building and automation, The other one was market share. And the other one was power. Today, as I speak, we have solved that power problem, and I thank the SDP candidate for alluding to it. Apart from the fact that we are doing a more long-lasting solution through geometrics, the rural agency for the Agency for Rural Electrification, through the collaboration of Abia State Government, has supplied electricity for the past 1 year uninterrupted to about 1,000 shops in our area. It is something. And apart from steady electricity that is on this way, you remember when 50,000 pairs of shoes were ordered by the military? And if one of them is 10,000 naira, that is 500 million. You remember that we have brought the vice president to about 3 times to come face to face with these manufacturers and those who do shoes and do garments. Who would have done it for them? This is the first time that we are mainstreaming them in the economy of Abia. And for any of you who first understand, no, please. How can I take that?
Your time is up, please.
Please, we seek to be protected.
Order, please.
Decorum, decorum, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, please, move please, we are working with time here. We are working with time. We are working with time. Order, gentlemen. Please, order. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's have some decorum. Let's have some quiet.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen. Address.
Hello. One house, please. Hello.
voting election will soon be conducted. Voters, candidates, and their supporters, as well as the general public, are required to ensure that the
All right, this is still Abia State election debate coming to you right here from Abia State, Abia Hotels in Umuahia, the capital city of Abia State. We had a bit of confusion here, but the organizers are putting that in order. I think the PDP supporters are not happy with some things. They actually expected that the governor should be given more time to expatiate on the questions thrown at him, but this is debate, and the organizers are insisting that it is debate, and then timing is of essence, and the regulators are very firm and fair.
Well, something, this is really appalling. I must say that at this point, we are still becoming so petty at this stage. This is a mere debate. We've not really started the election, and we're having this kind of commotion. This is very, very unbecoming, especially of the ruling party in the state. I expect the ruling party to at least to condone the excesses of their supporters. And I think at this point, even the Commissioner for Information trying to calm down the supporters of the PDP, but it appears that they don't want to calm down. I think at this point, everybody must maintain some level of decorum. This is just a debate. The election has not started, but we are experiencing this kind of commotion. It's really, really sad.
Well, I really don't know, but then gradually I think they are settling the issues. They are trying to bring everybody to order, but then the organizers have been very calm, I must tell you. 3 minutes is allocated to each candidate for rebuttal, and that has not been uttered. They've been given fair time, they've been given equal time to make sure that the decision is made. But as it is now, as it is, I really don't know why the supporters of the People's Democratic Party got it twisted, and then they moved up to the stage here while the governor was just stopped when it was just the accurate time that he is supposed to make his comment. The moment it was done, he was stopped, and the supporters, they all plunged into the stage here to disrupt what is going on. But at the moment, the governor has issued a strict warning. The governor has ordered them to stay calm, and he wants to end the debate by himself. I must commend his composure so far.
Yes, but then again, Mike Samson, you are one of the organizers of this event, and I also know that as an organizer, you people should know the allotted time for each candidate to react to a particular question. If that's the case, I don't think there's any reason for the PDP supporters to be raising this kind of agitation as regards to the timing or time allocated to a particular candidate. What is the timing like as the organizers of this event?
It's 3 minutes, and a set of rules was actually circulated to all the candidates, and they all signed up on it. That rules was made available to all the candidates and their representatives. They saw it, they signed up to it, and they agreed to those rules that there will be time, there will be 3 minutes intervals for rebuttals, where the candidates will get to ask each other questions or address some of the comments directly referenced to individuals, and that was done. And I only expected that the candidates, the participants, played according to the rules, but that seemed not to be the situation here. But for all, it's all good that the situation has been put to order now, and in any moment from now, we shall be returning to the debate.
Well, like you rightly pointed out, we must commend the composure of the governor, who actually called his supporters to order, and we are returning back to the debate now. Happy listening.
We reiterate that we respect the concern of everybody. But obviously, before coming here for this event, we had laid down rules which we had put forward for this particular event to hold successfully. But even at that, we considered the position coming from His Excellency, the Governor, considering that every rebuttal was all targeted at him. With consultation with my panel, we saw a need to give an extension of time. Please, one house, please. We saw a need to get an extension of time so that he can be able to state his positions and clear every other thing he needs to talk about. We will be giving the Your Excellency, respectfully, an extra 3 minutes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for at least doing this fair. So I was trying to say that there seems to be a deliberate attempt by way of strategy to ventilate the commercial centers in Abia State, including Ariari. And the rigor and depth in planning that we deploy to do the kind of things we're doing is something that we've not seen since the past 60 years. I have to tell you that government, if you ask me today to show you one road that is 10 years old, you will not find any. But I am proud to say that certain roads that were impassable before we came have survived 3 rainy seasons, and I pledge that they will survive my tenure and my successor will inherit them. I want to go straight to the issue of security. I have doubt over the statistics that the APGA candidate just brings down, because I am in constant touch with the Chief Officer of Safety, and I'm in constant touch with the IGP, the Commissioner of Police here. Abia State, this answers her open. Abia State has 7 borders with other states, and it is only Kaduna that probably has more bordering states than Abia. And 5 out of the 7 borders we have are flashpoints. For instance, what happens in River State in terms of crime filters into Abia through the Omuma Channel. What happens in Akwa Ibom filters into Abia through Abala, and so on and so forth. That can continue to. What happens at parts of Arochukwu gets into Northern Cross River and vice versa. But what we have today is that the law enforcement agencies, for the first time, are collaborating. The synergy between the Director of SSS and the police and the military has never been seen, and that is part of the secret behind our success so far. The second secret is that we have gatekeepers in every community that helps us to identify the movement of those we have marked or those that are unwanted lists. I do not want to go back to say, well, that it is either here nor there. Security can be felt. We are not in El Dorado yet, and there is no absolute state of security anywhere in the world, including Abuja or even in New York. But what we are saying certainly is that we have moved so forward that we are attracting businesses. Those who traveled and come back. For instance, back of industry moved out of Abia. It is back to Abia today. I can give you such indices as what will point to the fact that our security situation is improving and not worsening. But that is not to say that we will relax on our oars. We are still doing the needful. But I want to sound a note of warning here.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
To say that private sector administration and governance is different from public sector governance.
Thank you.
There is
Your
no
Excellency.
bank that is as big as Obingwa.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your time is up. All right. The Abia election. It is live on those 89.7 FM, as well as Abia Facts Online TV and all platforms under the Online Media Practitioners Association of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter. To the next issue that we have on today's debate, which is the issue of workers' welfare. We'll be starting with you, candidates of the Social Democratic Party. What is your take on the issue of new national minimum wage, and what plans do you have for workers and pensioners in the state?
Thank you once again. My take on the issue of minimum wage is that a worker deserves her pay, and that the only way you can get a worker to produce, the only way you can gender high productivity in any worker is by motivation. Motivation is key, hence the issue of minimum wage. They are asking for 35,000 naira. I think that demand is just right. If If I have my way, I would even pay 50, no, not if I have my way. My plan in my own government is to pay 50,000 naira minimum wage. That is my way of encouraging the worker to produce a lot better. Yes. So I'm saying that the agitation all over the country of labor of 35,000 naira a month.
Please, order.
Of 35,000 naira a month is just right and apt. But I know that when you encourage workers, they produce more. I also know that a country like Nigeria, where accountability was key, where things went right, would be able to generate the necessary revenue and income to take care of our workers. That is what I have to say on that. I want to say that even in Abia, once accountability is there, once our revenue generating, what do you call them now? Not revenue generating. Once those who are going to collect our revenue, people who will collect our revenues are sincere and accountable, that's what I mean here, you would have enough money into the coffers of a government to pay your workers. Then the industries and all the other things we have talked about, when they are revitalized and you give the infrastructure, you give all the necessary things and the electorate require, they would eventually pay their tax. I give instance of Lagos, where people pay their taxes almost without stress. Once you give people what they require, once the dividends is given to the masses, to the electorate, they will pay their taxes and you have enough income to pay, whether it is the state or at the national. So my take is that minimum wage to the workers is something I subscribe to, and something that is laudable, and something that if it is, if it happens, if it is paid, that the productivity of Nigerians in general will increase. It should be a great motivation where workers are not able to pay for their school fees of their children, they're not able to pay their rent, pensioners don't receive their pensions. How do you want them to feel? What do you want the economy to look like? It is already down. So I subscribe to that, and our government will see that that happens.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mrs. Blessing Nwagba of the SDP. And now to you, candidates of the Accord Party, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. Workers in Abia State are listening, and still on the issue of workers' welfare, they would like to know your take on the agitation for a new national minimum wage and other plans that you have for workers and pensioners in the state.
Yeah, before I answer your question, I want to agree with His Excellency on the issue of security in Abia. And there's relatively some kind of security in Abia, unlike what we had before. To that extent, I want to congratulate him. Then on the issue of welfare to workers, I've said it time without number. The Bible says specifically, a laborer is desirous of his wages. It is sacrosanct. It's not a privilege. It is a right. Once you've worked, you are entitled to your payment as at when due. And if there is honesty, like for instance, the governor can do without his 1 month salary. He can do without his allowances for 1 month. But the workers cannot do without a month's salary because the whole dependent are on it. So my administration, by the grace of God, I will not earn a kobo until all the workers of Abias are duly paid. It is a sacrosanct covenant. Because why? I believe that if I deny a worker his salary for 1 month, I'm denying his family, his dependent, and so on and so forth. And that invariably will bring insecurity to the state. Therefore, as regards to payment, I've told you, Abia, if we look deep, we will find out there are a lot of frivolities that takes a lot of money. With due respect, sir, I want to say something. Like you said, if we go to schools, you see the signature of Okezie Ikpeazu. No, sir, signature of government. Okezie Ikpeazu represents government. And government is the money entrusted in your hand. Like if governor do a road, people will roll out of the drums and be beating drums and be dancing. Who told you it's not to be so? It is the people's money. It's not his personal money. So we should understand that these monies are meant for those things. So if there are things to be done, like payment of staff, I believe that if we can cut off some aid grievances, for instance, there are a lot that we waste money on that we can use to pay the salaries. Like minimum wage, I don't see anything wrong in that. 30,000 naira, for goodness sake. If I'm going from here now to Enugu, I can't spend 30,000 naira, I'll spend more than that. And these people are going to the same market me and you are going to. They are subjected to the same price. They don't talk, if you go to the market, they will not ask you, are you a civil servant? Okay, if you're a civil servant, the price is 2 naira. If you're a government worker, it's 10 naira. We are subjected to the same condition.
Thank you.
Therefore,
very much.
They deserve better.
Thank you, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. And now to you, Dr. Alex Otti. What is your take? How would you react to the agitation, by workers in the country and Abia State as well of the new minimum wage? And what are your plans for workers and pensioners, given the lean resources available to the state?
Thank you very much. Let me start by disputing the fact that the resources available to the state are lean. It is not true. It is a lie from the pit of hell. The money we receive in Abia is more than the money that is received by Imo, Ebonyi, and Anambra. And as we speak, none of those states is owing salary, at least Anambra and Ebonyi. We are an oil-producing state. Yes, we have challenges with the way we manage our resources. But it's not about the quantum of resources that we receive. We receive a whole lot more. Now, to your question, I had documented my position that minimum wage of even 50,000 is not too much money, given the situation of things today. Now, if you look at the 18,000 naira minimum wage, it came into place over 10 years ago. From an economic point of view, if you just look at inflation over the last 10 years, you will find that 30,000 naira, which is just doubling it, is even less than what it should be. So I really don't think there's an issue with that. The point is that you must get to the level where you manage your resources better and understand that when you do not pay your workers, you are shutting down your economy, like I said earlier. Today, when you come to Umuahia, by 6, 7, 8 o'clock, everywhere is a ghost town. Why? The point is that we also do not understand how money works. If we understand how money works, you will know that money has multiplier effect. If you have somebody paid his salary, he's going to spend it on something. And anything he spends it on, the person that receives it will make a little margin. Let's even say 100 naira. So the creation of money is based on the multiplier effect. Now there is another issue which I want to talk about, and that is the velocity of money. Because you shut down your town by 6 to 8 p.m., the economy shuts down and does not start again until the next day. When you go to Lagos or to Oka or a couple of places where the economy runs till 12 midnight, the velocity of money, that salary can change hands 3, 4, 5 times. And anytime money is changing hands, people are making money. And that is why it looks like we are not doing well, because we have not done the right things. So I would like to implore everybody that is involved to please pay our workers. It is not a favor. We should pay them so that our economy can jumpstart again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex Otti of All Progressive Grand Alliance. Your Excellency, Governor Okezie, the issue of workers' welfare and social safety nets has been at the heart of campaigns for the #1 job in Abia State. Please, how would you react to the agitation for the new minimum wage, and what plans do you have for Abia workers and pensioners?
Let me start by saying that The issue of whether Abia State government loves workers or not did not start with me. Abia is paying more than the minimum wage of 18. Abia is paying 20,000. And they comparing Abia with Ebonyi demonstrates the fact that some candidates don't even understand statistics or what it is. Ebonyi needs 900 million to pay everybody, including pension. When I came in 2015, my wage bill alone was 2.7 billion minus pension. So comparing Abia with Ebonyi is comparing apple with pineapple or yam. So what I want to make out of it is that every worker that is under the payroll of government was paid December salary before 25th. But the issue is that we have parastatals that are not willing to do well. In 2015, when I took over government, I paid 2 billion in Abia Poly. That 2 billion is supposed to be 1 year's salary plus 1 month, because they require 1.8 billion to pay their salary for 1 year. But at that time, they were picking 2 billion from fees from 35,000 students. And I said to them, since you are owing First Bank 2 billion, let me pay off that 2 billion and remove you from the cloak of the interest you have to pay every month. But henceforth, let me see how much you are earning so that I can subvent. They are not paying anything into government. And we had to force them to close 42 different accounts. So it's a question of asking government to fund frivolity. And I know that there is no candidate here that will see a parastatal that is earning 2 billion and you are subventing with 130 billion every month and they are owing themselves, they will continue to fund that kind of frivolity. So I agree that a worker deserves his minimum wage and beyond. And that is why we are the only state in Nigeria today that is feeding primary 1 to 6, so that our parents will have more money in their pockets. There are so many ways to enhance the economy of the worker, apart from paying salary. Paying salary should be taken for granted.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Victor Ikpeazu.
All right, let's move on to the next year. To the 2009 governorship. Hello, okay. Now let's move on to the next question. It is still the 2019 Abia State governorship debate. Now, let's talk about the corruption that gave rise to the salary problems in parastatals. The next question is, how do you intend to sanitize and make parastatals in the state more productive and self-reliant? We will start with you, the incumbent, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Victor Okezie.
The answer is simple. Two things. One, if you want to stabilize your economy, you must plug all loopholes through which money is leaked. You must cut down on recurrent expenditure and enhance your income. And for you to do the second, which is to enhance your income, you must remain stable in the market. Assuming you are running an institution, you must run away from incessant strike. Because when you go on strike often, the students will move away, and when the students move away, the population will go down, and then you can't make the money that you need to pay. Policy of government is that we must see every revenue. We're not asking you to pay into government, but pay into the IGR account so that it can be on a dashboard where 6, 7, 8 people can see it. The chairman board of internal revenue must see it. The commissioner for finance must see it. The governor, if he wishes, must see it. So that I will know what you have made for the month and then know when to push how much to help you. There are other things you require in such a school. One of them is that, for instance, you may have accreditation panel coming. Yes, government will take up the responsibility of supporting you in terms of equipment. But if you have a situation where 15 lecturers are lecturing 3 students in statistics, and you are asking government to pay for those 15 lecturers, we are saying that governance structure is not proper and something must be done. We have laid down the template, and the schools that are following, the parastatals that are following that template are doing well. We have removed 2 parastatals from those doldrums now, as I speak. One is Abia State University that has moved from number 90 to the first third in Nigeria on account of the fact that they have run 3 academic calendar uninterrupted, and salaries are paid up to date. The other one is ASPIMS. By October, ASPIMS was owing 3 months' salary. A new management came, and by December, they cleared the 3 months' salary by following the template. So we are insisting that if you want to continue to benefit from government subvention, you must follow the single treasury account. If you don't do it, then you have problem with us.
All right, thank you very much, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Over to you, the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Lady Blessing. It is believed that corruption gave rise to salary problems, like I stated earlier, in parastatals. How do you intend to sanitize and make these parastatals in the state more productive and self-reliant?
Thank you very much. It is key to have people who have character run establishments, including the parastatals you're talking about. It is key to employ qualified persons to run establishments. Where employments are done based on relationship and not based on quality, not based on experience, and some other factors that should enable productivity. When you are on that seat, what you see is what you experience, what you get at the end of the day is a parastatal that does not produce, that does not deliver, that cannot pay itself, that cannot deliver on its mandate. So one thing I would do is to ensure that I look at the quality of persons who are running our parastatals and make sure they are persons of proven integrity. Secondly, I will see that there's accountability as they run the offices. Because where people first do not come to work, many of them are in other parts of the state or whichever on the state, and yet they earn salaries in the establishment. How do you expect that establishment to function, to generate, to produce, and then pay the workers there? It wouldn't work. So there has to be accountability in terms of the personnel who are working to ensure that they come to work. There has to be accountability in terms of monies they use in the establishment to ensure that the monies are deployed for the running of that office and for delivering the expected end that office is meant to deliver. So when you do this, it's a technical thing. Reorientation. We have to reorientate the mindset of our people too, to see that when you are cheating the government, you are cheating yourself. When you are cheating the government by not being productive where you are recycling poverty. So these are things we must understand. We have to work in the interest of our society. We have to ensure that we leave a generation, we leave a society that will produce the generation that we want to have later. A generation that will take care of us when we are old. A generation that understands that integrity, equity, character is key in our society. So these are some of the things I need to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, the candidate of the Social Democratic Party. Over to you, the candidate of Accord Party, Parastatal Uwakolam. How do you intend to sanitize the parastatals, as we believe that corruption gave rise to salary increment and salary problems in these parastatals? We want you to be more productive and self-reliant. How do you intend to achieve this?
Yeah, you see, there are so many interferences in governance. And while I was coming to this debate, I tried to caution myself not to talk about the menace of godfatherism, so that it doesn't keep sounding like a broken record and its attendant negative effects. You see, when positions are given based on, just like Nwagba said, like on relationship or on recommendation of one person or the other as a political settlement, what you get is the position of His Excellency now where he is helpless. I said helpless in the sense that I don't know the reason why, if a parastatal is not functioning and the people that are not productive cannot be fired with immediate effect. There is will. That's what we call will to govern. And that will must be seen to be operational in every administrator. The essence of governance is productivity. And And you're begging somebody to remit money, and when you're supposed to be productive, and you're not productive, and you're still wasting the time of the government, what are you doing there? Then what I saw from what his response is a complete institutional failure. There's institutional failure in Abia, and I don't know the reason why. When we stop these unnecessary interferences from government, then we are on a highway to making Abia really great, on a highway of progress. Now, you're talking about corruption. There is things you put in place that will make it impossible for you to be corrupt. And if you are corrupt, you know the consequences. And except you are not sure of the consequences, that is why you will be corrupt and remain in a position. Therefore, we must strengthen our institution. And it needs real power to do that. And trust me, Emeka Uwakolam have the absolute willpower to strengthen all institutions of government, including the civil service. This is where the people will be there, they will come to work and they'll be I don't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? We should be very resolute on issues of governance. Governance is a serious business. It is not a child's play. It needs will, honesty, transparency, and accountability. Otherwise, you will have no business in government. That's my stake. We will strengthen the institution. Trust me. Such thing will not even occur. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, candidate of Accord Party, Barrister Uwakolam. Before I move to you, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, let me state here that after this question, you will have the opportunity to sell yourself for 5 minutes each. So we will get down to that after this question. Now, to you, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, how do you intend to sanitize and also to make parastatals in Abia State more productive and self-reliant?
All right. There is a saying that the fish gets rotten from the head. What that simply means.
All right, thank you very much. Please go ahead, the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. Thank you.
Right. There is a saying that the fish gets rotten from the head. What that simply means is that where you have a problem, go and look at the leadership. So I'm surprised and actually shocked that His Excellency is telling us about parastatals. They're under him. So if you ask me, that is sounding technical. If a parastatal is not working, as the leader, you know what to do. So you can't come here and tell us that they are not paid because they have corruptly enriched themselves. Why don't you sack them? That is your responsibility. As far as I'm concerned, the government has failed to pay those salaries. And if you say you've paid core civil servants and you haven't paid parastatals, it is still workers that work for Abia State. Now, having said that, we also need to understand that a lot of times people watch what you do and not what you say. So if people that are collecting internally generated revenue are doing it by cash and putting it in their pocket, then the people that are out there heading the parastatals will also want to do their own. If you hire 3,000 people and you put them in an office and you are paying them salaries without they are doing anything, and you call them all sorts of names, SA and all that, at the end of the day, the other people who are also under you will be watching you and they want to do their own. So if you ask me, I think the problem has to do with the leadership. And the governor had told us about this weight bill, 2-point-something billion. We know that this state collected 10.4 billion bailout funds. We also know that Paris Club funds of 5.7 billion in the first instance and the second tranche of 5.7 billion had also been collected. So what are these salaries that we don't have enough money to pay them? So if you ask me, I don't think there is the will to pay salaries in the state. I think the state, like I had said earlier, is weaponizing poverty and hunger and using it against the people. And I think the responsibility of government is to look after the people rather than punishing them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance.
So we can make judicious use of our time. We're going to grant 2 minutes for the final rebuttal And after we're done with that, we'll grant every candidate 3 minutes each to sell themselves, and then we'll call it a day for today's debate. And for the rebuttals, we'll be starting with you, Honorable Mrs. Blessing Nwagba. 2 minutes for rebuttals.
I didn't hear you. 2 minutes
to refute anything that your opponent might have said.
Oh, okay.
The final rebuttal.
I want to say that every explanation for me addresses the issues raised. I don't think I have much issues with the rebuttals anymore. Yes, I want to say that issues that were raised have been addressed. But what I keep saying is that Abia deserves better. That we can get far better than what we have today. That issues of revenue generation can be better tackled by handling those people who are collecting the revenues and not remitting to the government coffers, which now causes, call it, shortage of funds for the running of government. That should be more seriously taken care of and handled.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mrs. Blessing Nwagba. Alex Otti.
All right. His Excellency talked about the Osisioma Bridge. And I would have loved him to expatiate on that. I had also read where he said that he was not going for a second term if he did not complete the project. And I'm aware the project has not been completed. It's not amongst the projects that I counted because I didn't know how to value it. I couldn't get up there because it is hanging up there. So what is His Excellency's response to that? Is he really going for second term since he had promised that he would not until he completed that project? The second point.
One house, go ahead, sir.
Okay. The second point that I would like to raise is the issue of governance and how much government spends. Doesn't he think that his government is too expensive? Spending over 120% of his budget or of his receivables on recurrent expenditure. That is expenses that you spend on a daily basis without salaries. So doesn't he think there is a way to prune down on the cost of governance in Abia State? Because I believe that that is a major, major problem that he has. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alex Otti. Now, Mr. Emeka Uwakolam of Accord Party.
Sorry, Your Excellency, I think you should be giving him double time because all of us are attacking him. Okay, Your Excellency, you said something about feeding the children. That's another irrelevancy, because I think you should be giving their parents the money so that they know how to feed their children. I think the more money you are putting there, pay them and you can add extra. They will feed their children. And that is number one. And secondly, we did have to talk about listing.
Please go ahead. No noise. One house. Go ahead, sir.
We didn't talk much about agriculture. We have National Institute of Crop and Plant Research Institute. Have we bothered to take statistics and research on all the local governments and find out which crop can do better in one of the local governments so that we can have a large farm settlement and mechanize this farm? Our young people who are looking for jobs can settle in some localities, and then we can also attract companies that will use those byproducts. Like instant cashew. Do you know that the back of cashew can be used for leather? And we have a lot of cashew wasting in Abia. Those areas, there are some things that can, this crop settlement, this farm settlement can help generate employment and attract companies too. There are a lot to be done in this state. But just like I said, the basic, the rock of the whole thing is honesty and transparency. Let everyone that wants to lead Abia tell himself the home truth. One, the interest of Abians, not few individuals who must have brought you to power.
I have a problem with that. You spent billions of naira to bring somebody to power, and when you have not built one industry in your state, in your location, and you say you are patriotic, what is your interest? If you are people will go, I want to sponsor you to become governor. If you sponsor me, what is your interest?
Thank you, Barrister Emeka Uwakolam. And now your turn, Your Excellency, because all the issues have been directed to you and you have more questions to tackle, you will have granted you 1 extra minute to respond to these issues.
When am I going to
which means you have 3 minutes.
When am I going to ask my own questions?
You can ask and respond.
The first one I didn't ask. This second round I've not asked to ask.
Please go ahead, sir. 3 minutes.
Well,
you can use the time to also ask questions if you want.
Okay. I want to start with the Otisoma Bridge. And it will help me answer an earlier question when you try to compare Abia with Ebonyi. And when these comparisons are made, it keeps me worried as to the depth of some of our candidates. Ebonyi uses X amount to construct roads because of the topography of their area and soil. Abia needs X plus 3. In the flyovers that they did in Ebonyi, they had to do 4 meters to erect their station. And we are doing 9 meters to erect our station. Well, I am going to run for election because the other money I would have used to finish that bridge, I deployed at Okobo Bridge, leading to Arochukwu. At least I've completed that one bridge. The only thing that is left is to do the road. Because I also vowed that I will shorten the traveling time between Umuahia and Arochukwu. Because there is said here that there's no road to Arochukwu that is short. That is why I went and did that Okobo Bridge. Now, having said that, I want to take the questions that the barrister asked. I don't think 1 minute will be enough to answer everything we have done in agriculture. But I'll say 2 things that will suffice. One is that Abia today is the only state that has done 4 million out of the 7 million Tenera species of oil palm seedling. It may not make sense to anybody who does not understand strategy and planning. If you want to be strong in oil palm, you must start with the seedling, because the seedling tells the product that will come after 1.5 years. And ordinarily, we would have spent 350 naira buying one seedling from NIFO. But here in Abia, we were able to cultivate and proliferate and we have actually consumed 4 million Tenera species of oil palm. The impact will become profound in a few years to come. Again, Abia is the state that is pioneering a poultry cluster in Nigeria, which the federal government is copying today. One is at Usulu, the other one, the groundbreaking has been done at Item. So we are doing poultry cluster in all the territorial districts, starting from the one in Abia Central. Now I want to tell him the economics of school feeding. School feeding is not for the sake of feeding. The World Bank says that every parent, any parent that spends more than 25% of their income on school fees cannot be comfortable financially. And we know what private schools are charging in Abia today. Federal government started primary 1 to 3, but Abia is doing 4 to 6. Therefore, we are the only state that is doing 1 to 6. Look at the impact. We have reversed school enrollment from private schools back to public schools from a figure of 141,000 in 2015 to 611,000 in 2018. But that is not all. We have employed food vendors, 5,350 women that are cooking on daily basis. So what it means is that it answers our question about mainstreaming women and answers the question of putting more money in the hands and pockets of the parents, because they now spend less to maintain their children in schools. That is why we are very, very passionate about school infrastructure and retraining our teachers, so that it's not just to throw in their children into any house school, but to throw them into a school that we can be sure the quality is guaranteed. Talking about the location of the modern schools, one is at a place called Osuso in Obingwa. That is like 4 kilometers from Abia. The other one is at the opposite the Anglican Church in Osisioma along Abowere Road. Now, my question. Can I ask my question now?
Yeah, go ahead with your question, please.
Okay.
Do you have 30 seconds, please? Thank you very much.
I want to direct my question to Dr. Alex. Please, sir, don't you, because you have alluded to security many times here, don't you think that equity and social justice are important in maintaining law and order and the security that you need for meaningful development? First question. Second question, do you think that what happened in Diamond Bank has no impact on your capacity to build a sustainable...
No booing, no cheering, no jeering, please. Thank you very much, audience.
On your capacity to build sustainable institutions that can last decades and decades long after you must have left.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I think the question goes to the candidate. No booing, no cheering, no jeering, please. Thank you very much. Now, the question goes to the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti. And after this, we go straight to selling yourselves for 3 minutes. Thank you very much, the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. Please do respond to the question. You have 2 minutes. Thank you very much. You have 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
All right. The first one is to thank His Excellency for building the Okobo Bridge that leads to Arochukwu. I would have been surprised if after alluding to building the road to Akwa Ibom State, from where we know some people ancestrally hailed from, he didn't do the one that will go to Arochukwu. So thank you very much for doing the one to Arochukwu. Now your question. On the issue of Diamond Bank, there is a transaction that is going on. So I will not talk much about it. But I'd like to remind him that banking business is not like government business. Yes. Particularly in Abia State. I left banking in 2014. That's 5 years ago. I can give account of what I did in the 4 years that I stayed in Diamond Bank. And once I left, I left. It's unlike what we find in some governments, where a governor leaves and he doesn't leave. He continues to manipulate his successor and continues to run the state from remote control purposes. So it's a different matter. I do not know what happens in Diamond Bank now because I've left. But my records are very clear and they are there to show. Now, having said that, he asked a question about equity. Equity is important, particularly if you are coming with clean hands. There's a saying that he who must come to equity must come with clean hands. But the most important response I want to give on equity is that Abia State is in trouble. Abia State is comatose. So it is like a man who is on life support and the doctor shows up and he says he wants to know from where the doctor comes. You need to cure the state. You need to deal with the problem of the state. And it goes beyond where somebody comes from ancestrally or where he comes from by birth. We are looking for competence. We are looking for people who are trained. We are looking for people who have skills. We are looking for people who have track record of performance. And we have seen 4 years. We are not impressed. Thank you very much.
No, audience, thank you very much. One house, please. One house. One house.
What's that? Hello, one house, please. We are up of this debate, please. We need you to be calm, please. We just have three extra minutes for the candidates. We plead with you to please calm down. Thank you very much.
Into their political parties. And Accord Party, you short 3 minutes.
First and foremost, I want to talk about equity. I'm looking.
Please, you have 3 minutes. You are using your 3 minutes now, Barrister Uwakolam of the Accord Party. Thank you very much.
Allow me. Don't interfere. What I mean, I'm not talking about equity in the sense that the governor said about equity. I want to say specifically what is equitable. I'm a lawyer. Equity is all about fairness and justice. Let's be fair to Abians. Let's be just to Abians. In whatever we are doing as a government, let us remember that the people that we entrusted this power to us are the Abians. And what determines equity is what we do with the entrusted position that we are given. And that is why I keep talking about honesty. There is nothing we can do in this state if we are not sincere to ourselves. Number one, I said some people underplay it. There must be a conscious effort to enthrone the leadership of the Almighty God in this state, so that the light of this of God shall shine on this state, so that we can see a new and endurable development. Until we've done that, I don't know. There are so many stories about going to one place to swear an oath and all that. That is handing over the state to the devil. Until we consciously bring back this state and hand it over to God, there might not be meaningful development. First and foremost, that is what I intend to do. Secondly, I intend to be very honest with Abians. Every money that enters to my hand, I will use it judiciously as a man that is entrusted. And secondly, I will render an account. Like for instance, I don't know what the governor earns. I don't know his entitlement and so on and so forth. But I will be very open to every Abian. I will make sure that I give account every quarter, and everybody under me as a commissioner or what will be also led to do that every month. We will give everybody free hand, like if you're a commissioner. We will be given an opportunity to make sure that you enhance and use that your potential that made you to be appointed as a commissioner. If you're a local government chairman, I am not going to touch your kobo, but whatever that money is released for in that local government, you must have to do it. You must have to do it. All these joint accounts and so on and so forth that made it impossible for money to be released to local government, and that is why there is no genuine development in the local government. The state cannot do everything. Now, that comes about honesty. I want to promise Abians, if I'm elected, I will stand by the people at all times. I will not look at any godfather. If the people are not happy, that means the government is not doing well. I will not look at anybody that if he's happy and good and die, I will come back. But it is a people's face I'll be looking at. How far has government impacted in my people, for my people? And for no more here. How far have it impacted to us and so many other communities? I will run a government that will be mass proof.
All right, thank you very much, candidate of the Accord Party. Let me state here that there will be certificate presentation at the end of this debate. Over to you now, the next candidate, according to the lineup, the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Dr. Alex Otti. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. The first thing is to thank all my compatriots that joined in this debate. I offer myself to serve Abia State. I have what it takes. I have the training, I have the skill, I have the competence, and I believe that it is time for Abia people to wake up. We have been in slumber for a long time. Our state has been hijacked. Our state has been kidnapped, and we must rescue our state, and it is us that will do it. 20 years is a long time. This is a brand new opportunity for us to reverse the rot that is in Abia State. Our problem has been that people who finish the administration do not want to retire. They do not want to go home. So they want to manipulate their successors. Abia people should rise up and say no. Ozola, anya baliala, kai mezi obodo anyị. Owu politics ka anyị bịara. Owu ego ka anyị na-achọ. Anyị erijuola afọ before ndị meeting abịawa. So onye ọbụla nkwesịrị ịla anya na ga kpọnde kunu. So la hinga egbanwela Abia State. And onye nga ime mba Alex Otti. Afụla m ihe niile ndị ime. enwe m godfather ọ dị onye ndị ọ dịghị ihe ọbụla m nwere enwebe any problem ụmụaka atọla anyị la nwere otu nwaanyị and o zuolara m so unu jisie ike make sure that on that day la anyị ga-ebido the journey to the promised land. I have already signed a social contract with Abia people, and on the 2nd of March I expect Abia people to sign their own portion of that contract so that we can start this journey. We have not started. This is 21st century. People have gone to the moon and back. People are doing crazy things. And we are here still talking about infrastructure. Umuahia is a glorified village. Aba is not working. We should not be consigned to tell this story again. If we do, this state will fail.
All right, thank you very much. And also the incumbent, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Victor Okezie Ikpeazu. You have 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this debate. And I want to say, without any fear of contradiction, that no government before mine has done what we have done these past 4 years, despite distractions. Beyond that,
please, thank you very much. Let's stick to the rules.
Beyond that, my vision and our vision is very, very clear. We are leveraging SMEs promotion. We are heading to industrialization, and we are going to run strong on agriculture. This vision is very, very clear, and that is the only way for the future of the youths of Abia State. Beyond that, God will never allow me to walk away from my shadow. My past will follow me all the time. I will never deny it. Thank you very much.
Please, let's stick to the rules, please. Let's stick to the rules, please. This is live on television and also on radio. It is also live on YouTube. So let's try as much as possible to be civil. Thank you very much. Now to the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Lady Blessed Nwagba. Thank you very much. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Please, let's reduce our noise, please.
Yes, thank you very much
for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much once again for the opportunity to be part of this debate. I want to say that my mandate is divine. I want to say that this is the first time that God is bringing not just a woman, but a qualified woman to govern the state. I'm running in Abia State because I have seen the change. I'm running in Abia State because I have seen a number of things that must change. So I am saying that I have experienced, I have character. If you look at my track record, both in administration, both in the legislature, you discover I deliver the dividends even to my constituency as a legislator. So I'm saying that the very way I impacted on my constituency in Abia North is the way I would impact on Abia State. First, I'm going to ensure that industries are revitalized. I said that before. We are going to ensure that poverty is eliminated or eradicated. We are going to see all these things that make Abians not to be proud of where they come from. If you go outside this state, people say, "Are you from Abia?" You now begin to wonder. They now wonder, do you really come from Abia? Poverty should be eradicated. We should see that employment is created. That in the first 4 years of our government, we are going to create 10,000 employment through agriculture for the young ones. And we are going to ensure that women are included or brought into governance, because women add a lot of value to governance and they have what I call natural intuition to govern. We are going to also see that SMEs are well encouraged, create an enabling environment for these to run. We want to turn the economy of the Abia around. Come to social development. We want to see that our hospitals are put in states that people will get basic health care. Primary health care system must function, must have the necessary infrastructure, personnel, and drugs to make them run. We must see that our education is of standard to meet the quality of education or the standard of education of all parts of the world. are the things we want to run. Quit an Abia that would not, our children will not be proud, that children will not be proud of. An Abia that has nothing for our young ones. We must be quit an Abia through good governance, through character, through productivity, through transparency. An Abia that everyone will be proud of, and poverty will be eradicated.
Thank you very much. Let me state here that we will take the Abian anthem and also the national anthem before we say bye-bye today on the program. Well, over to the certificate presentation now. To you, the chairman of the debate committee, Emeka Uwakolam.
We appreciate, SARS, we deeply appreciate your presence today. For being here today, we are deeply, deeply grateful. These are certificates for participation to the Social Democratic Party. To His Excellency Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu. Your Excellency, sir. This is to Dr. Alex Otti OFR. This is to Barrister Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord.
Right. Thank you very much, John. Abia anthem and the national anthem. Please, we want to debate. Mr. Emeka Uwakolam is the something these days.
This is Abia's election debate. It's almost ended here.
And all the gathering media houses
very robust,
have been part of
very
this.
refreshing.
We now stand for the recitation of the Abia anthem and the national anthem.
Election debate. We intentionally save the best for the last. The discussion on Abia project will definitely continue beyond this platform. But you have heard the candidates of All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Dr. Alex Otti. You equally heard the candidates of Social Democratic Party, Blessing Nwagba. You equally held the candidates of People's Democratic Party, the incumbent governor, His Excellency Dr. Victor Okezie Ikpeazu here, and also on this stage has been Emeka Uwakolam of the Accord Party. It's been very refreshing and engaging. Like I said, the discussion on the Abia project will definitely continue beyond this, but the choice is now left for you, the electorate. You heard them marshal out their policies and programs, so you vote wisely. But on the sideline here, it's been wonderful. And my colleague Genika Olwaka has equally been with me. Genika, what is the highest point for you?
That should be the final remarks from both